It was December 29th, 1896, at Fort Santiago. José Rizal sat in his cell, the air thick and still. He was writing a letter, his last words to the world. He looked calm, ready for what was coming, but you could tell he was nervous. His eyes kept looking towards the shadows in the corners of his cell. Every little sound outside, like leaves rustling, sounded like footsteps. The silence was so strong it felt like it was pressing down on him. Rizal tried to focus on his writing. He wrote about love, about his country, about believing in reason and progress. But the words felt empty to him. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him, something bad, something old and evil. The oil lamp on his desk flickered, making the shadows in the cell move like they were alive. Rizal shivered. It suddenly felt very cold, and the air smelled like damp earth and decay. Then he heard it, a soft tapping. It seemed to be coming from the wall behind him. The tapping got louder, faster. Like bony fingers drumming on the stone, Rizal's heart raced. He spun around in his chair, the sound of it scraping against the floor, loud in the silence. The tapping stopped. There was nothing but the sound of the wind outside. He was just being paranoid, he told himself. It was just the wind, just his imagination. But deep down he felt a fear he couldn't ignore. He knew he wasn't alone. Something was in the room with him. Something he couldn't see, but it was there, and it was getting closer. The tapping started again. This time there were whispers too. Words came from the darkness, words he couldn't understand. But the voice sent chills down his spine. He pressed himself against the wall, the cold stone against his back. His eyes darted around the cell, trying to find where the voice was coming from. The shadows seemed to get darker, moving and twisting like they were alive. Then, from the middle of the shadows, a figure started to appear. It was tall and thin, hidden in the darkness. Its eyes glowed with a strange light. The whispers got louder, swirling around Rizal like an evil wind. He was almost overcome with terror, but Rizal was a man of science, of reason. He wouldn't give in to fear. He stared at the figure, his jaw clenched, and waited. "Do you see what's waiting for you, Jose?" The figure